Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 163. Let me catch up on chat. I see it has been busy. HD, Weezen, thank you both for being here and being mods. I really appreciate it. Brad Lacey, thank you for being here, and thank you for donating tonight's Paydirt I'm going to be going through, which is this right here. I'm actually going to be going through 2 bags, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let me catch up on chat first. Charles King, Mentally Corrupted, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Shane Prothero, thank you for being here. JNV Rockhounding, how's it going? What else we got? Troubled One, how's it going? Thank you. HD again. So I scroll through. Alan Curie, how's it going? Mentally Corrupted. Miskimos has been closed for a while. This doesn't have anything to do with the other, I don't think, but right around when George from Big Texas Prospecting closed up and disappeared, Miskimos closed as well. So they both shut down right at the same time. So it's been a little bit over a month or so. PA Patriot, what's going on? Vester 661. How's it going? AAA Rockhound, Reg Lab, how's it going? And he does, like I said, he does have it on his website that due to an illness, they're shutting down. He's been shut down for a while. What else we got? I think I'm caught up on everyone. Stephen Curry, thank you for joining us. Prospector, Jason E. Minor. And anyone, if I miss you, I apologize. Hopefully I'll see you in chat in a little bit and I'll say hi to you. But if not, appreciate you being here, even if I forget you. So yeah, today we're going to be going through 2 bags that I got from Brad Lacey, Ozark Paydirt. I have some on my shelf. I have some of the Ozark Bucks Paydirt. I have some here. You probably can't see it, but I have a little bag on my shelf here as well. Well, he also sent me 2 other bags. They're not labeled, and I decided to go through these tonight, mostly because when he sent them, one of them I dropped and busted it wide open, so luckily, it was double bagged because as soon as I got it and I was putting it on my shelf, I dropped it. I was like, well, we're going to have to pan that one out soon. So those are the ones we're going to be going through tonight. One is Alabama material and the other one is Tennessee material. And I don't remember how much gold's in each one. It doesn't really matter. These were gifted to me, so I'm happy getting anything out of these bags. So we'll be happy with those. So now let me move chat out and get all my setup ready. I was so busy watching everyone else's premieres today, my computer's not all set up. There we go. But like I said, we're going to try to go through 2 bags. I don't know if I'll have time for both of them, depending on how difficult they are, but we should be able to go through 2. There we go. And PA, what's up, brother? How's it been going? Weezen said to give you his... Weezen always says to give him his wins away. Got your next Paydirt in today. Uh-oh, triple. Yeah, I saw the pic on Facebook. I haven't looked at it yet. I am very seldom on Facebook, even though my phone swears to God I'm on it all the time. People tell me all the time, dude, I saw you were on there. That's why I messaged you. But I did see your message. I'm going to have to look at it later. In fact, I'll look at it now. We can do that. Just so I don't forget. But I did see you sent me a message with it. Well, there you go. That's awesome. I don't remember how much was in the bag. But as long as you're happy, Reg, that's all that matters. If you were happy with the bag of Paydirt, then I'm happy. So, Heath Doty's Adventures, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Robert Bemethel, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So, and everyone, thank you again for joining the live show. I always appreciate it. Quarter for comparison. Yeah, I saw. Got to use a dime. Have to use it. It always throws me off. Like I use a dime for all my picks, and sometimes someone will use like a $50 or a full dollar or a quarter, and I'm always like, oh, that's not very much gold. Then I'm like, oh wait, that's a quarter. That's a big nugget. Oh, that's awesome, Alan Curie. So if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you go over to Alan Curie's, reap the rewards of the first 100 people that joined his channel so you can maybe get in on the giveaway. So, Tin Man Magnet Fishing, thank you for joining the show. I don't think you've ever been here before, but I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. Fickle Prick Prospecting, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. MH, thank you for joining the show. And anyone else that I haven't missed? Joseph, thank you for joining the show. It's all right. I'll let you slide this time, as long as you have your little tardy slip. Oh. PA. No. But we should have some fun today. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't mark each bag. Well, maybe I did. Hold on. Nope, I didn't. I thought I might have marked the bags to say which one was Alabama and which one was Tennessee. I did leave the note in one of them. So let me see if I can read the note real quick. I think this is the Tennessee bag. Yeah, so, okay, the one I busted was the Tennessee bag. The other one is from Alabama. We'll be panning those out. We'll start with the Tennessee one, even though it's the newer bag, just because I dropped it and busted it on my concrete floor, which is a good reason why sellers should always double bag the material, because, you know, if it wasn't double bagged and I would have dropped it, it wasn't, you know, I didn't pay for it. But if I'd have dropped it on my floor, I'd have been sweeping it up and stuff like that. And if you're a seller, the person's might not be honest and tell you that they dropped it on the floor. They might tell you it busted in the bag, you know, in the box. So what's in the tumbler? I don't know. What's in the tumbler? This is coffee. It's all I ever drink on my live show is coffee. And how's it going, Jason G? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Alabama bag full of garnets. There you go. Well, I always like panning out garnets, so. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but the tornado siren is going off. So it's been storming on and off all day. I've been trying to dry some dirt. I've got 3 5-gallon buckets full of dirt, Tuesday tailings I need to dry off to make Paydirt. And every single day I look at my phone app and it's like, oh, it's, you know, bright and shiny, going to be high of 90 degrees, no rain. I tote everything up outside, put it in my yard. And as soon as I go outside, it's just like pitch black. So I have to drag everything back inside. Well, the whole time my cat's eyeballing it. He's saying, hey, I don't mind using wet dirt. So I have to cover everything up. And it's just been raining. It's raining right now. So today was supposed to be sunny and high, and it's still the same heat. It's just not dry. So I don't know how I'm going to dry off all this dirt before I have to make some Patreon Paydirt. I know. Yeah, Brad, I could totally understand that. Yeah, just coffee. Yeah, that's all I ever drink. Every once in a while, I'll have tea. If I'm, you know, during the winter, every once in a while, I'll throw some tea in there just to change it up a little bit, but not really too much. So. Oh, I'm safe as it can be. See, that's the one good thing. Like when I was searching for a house to buy, I didn't want a basement. I did not want the trouble of a basement because, you know, cracked foundation. Like I have here, I do have leaks in the wall that eventually I will have to fix, and sump pumps I have to replace and stuff like that. I didn't want a basement, but I'm so glad I bought this one. This house, the floor and all that, the I-beams are actually all steel. All the beams across in my house are all steel beams. They're all cemented into the floor with poles. So if a hurricane comes or a tornado or earthquake or anything, this basement's pretty secure. It's pretty secure. So I don't have too much to worry about it. My buddy has Miller Lite in his all day at work. When I did drink, I did like Miller Lite. I don't drink. Not anymore anyway. There's nothing against drinking. Just one day woke up and stopped drinking. So. Watching a tractor plow a dirt field during a 100. Yeah, see, if it got that hot, I couldn't even be outside. Do they have gold in Tennessee? Yes, they have gold. In Coker Creek area has gold. Not a lot of Tennessee, but that's pretty much a lot of states. A lot of states that do have a little bit of gold, it's very limited to the area. So, you know, where was I looking at the other day? I was looking at, I don't know, one of the northern states, because I was looking at something there, and I don't remember why, and I was like, oh, wonder if they have any gold, and so I started looking, and they do, but it's very limited area, so. Missouri, maybe I was looking at Missouri, where they do have gold, but it's not very much, and it's very limited you can get. Yeah, don't want to watch me fly away. You might want to. It might actually be kind of fun watching me, you know, hanging onto my table here for a while, trying to hold all the Paydirt on the wall, so. Yeah, but that is the one thing. It's the one thing that sold me on this house, actually, because a lot of the houses I did tour, you'd see the floors bowing in. So you're like, okay, eventually I'm going to have to go in there and start either jacking up the main beams or replacing wood and stuff like that. And that was one of the big things. Like, I don't mind if, the walls have to be patched or painted or things like that. But once your floor starts sinking, it just causes, grief for the rest of your life. So the fact that all the joists here in this house are all metal was a huge selling point. So, yeah, so it is my mini bomb shelter. Now, if the house was missing, because it could technically rip the house off, it wouldn't be fun, but there is steel posts that go up into the metal and are cemented in. I could just, chain myself to that if it got that bad, but, Ortiz, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, even if you're cleaning. I appreciate it. TM, thank you for joining the show. Brian Phillips, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. Alaskan Assassin Adventures, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. But yeah, going outside 101, over 90 really pushes my limit. Once something gets in the 90s, unless it's like me going to my car to turn it on to wait for the air conditioner, then I'm going shopping or something like that. But outdoor stuff, no, I don't. I'm one of those people that if I know it's going to be hot, I will set my alarm, wake up, and start cutting my grass at 5 a.m. and be done with it by 6, then go back to sleep. So my neighbors will hate me, but I don't care. I'm not going to be out there. I saw my neighbors will be out there cutting their grass at 100 degrees. Nope, no, not. I'll wake up early. Refotress, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I missed your other comments. Oh, did I? And I've been well. Yes, I have. I've been doing good. I can't complain. Summer's almost over with my son. I think he starts school like next week or something. He's got like another 10 days left before he starts school. So this is my last week to really hang out with him and not have to worry about, waking up early. Because now with the new custody agreement, I have my son more, which means during the school year, I have to wake up more at a 5:30 in the morning thing to get him to school. Because, his school is 30 minutes away from my house. So, I have to wake up pretty early. So I'm doing good now. Ask me in 3 weeks or 2 weeks when I first start having to wake up at like 5 in the morning, then I probably won't be so good. So, but I might be, I should run a poll. Actually, let me see. Let me set up. Maybe I'll set up a poll. Here, I'm going to start a poll. Give me 1 second. Here, we're going to do a quick little poll because I always say I'm going to post a poll on my Patreon, then I always forget. Then it gets to be like 2 weeks later, and then I'm like, ugh. But I might be going back to either changing back to my old time or starting a new time on Tuesdays. So here we go. We're going to poll. We'll just ask a poll for everyone in chat. So because I might stop calling my kids on Tuesday until later or earlier. If I start it at 8 p.m. Central. Right now I'm starting my shows at 6 p.m. Central. I used to do them at 7 p.m. Central, but I might go to back to 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and just calling my kids earlier or later. I'm not a huge fan of this 6 p.m. I have a hard time being set up and ready for 6 p.m. I know a lot of people have been complaining to me that, 6 p.m. on the West Coast is really rough for them. Most of them are still at work, and a lot of them were showing up late for the old one. Ortiz, yeah, that's what you got to be early. If it's gonna be a hot day, you got to do everything outside early. Go out. I'd rather cut my grass with a flashlight than do that. So, but all right. So there is a poll up. Make sure you vote if you would prefer it. Now, again, this is in Central Time. So right now we're doing 6 p.m. So if you need a reference, 6 p.m. is what we started now. It is currently 6:15 Central. But make some votes. What time you would prefer, either 6 p.m., 7 p.m., or 8 p.m. We'll leave the poll up all for this show so I can see. Must be nice. Yeah, I do sleep. I sleep a lot. Unfortunately, I don't take naps. I keep thinking I'm old enough that I should start being able to take daily naps, but it hasn't happened yet. I think my kids are still too young. So, Maybe when they're like 18 and can totally fend for themselves. Home Zoo and Prospecting, Chris W., thank you both for being here. I appreciate it. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Let's get to the panning. Let's start panning out some of this Paydirt. And again, thank you very much to Bradley Lacey for sending this to me. He does have his Ozark Bucks Paydirt. It's not for sale. It's just something he made up and sent to me. But that is my shelf one. The ones that are for the show don't have a sticker, so I don't feel bad about pulling them apart. But let's shrink down the ugly mug, start panning some of this out. And again, we're going to start with this Tennessee material and see how that does. And then if we have time, we'll hit up his Alabama bag. So got everything ready. Have my water. So give me a second to get everything set up. And I apologize if I miss anything in chat. I try to keep up with it while moving everything around. Donna, how are you, Donna? I missed you last week, Donna. I was enjoying the 6. Yeah, see, I do know for my overseas viewers, they love the 6 p.m. because they have to stay up late to watch my shows. And I know my West Coasters hate the 6 p.m.er, so. And thank you very much for doing that, HD. And as always, if you see somebody in chat that you aren't subscribed to, go subscribe to them. It doesn't cost anything, and everyone in this community loves having subscribers. Even if they don't put in any content, you can subscribe to them. All right, chat's all open. There we go. And again, if I miss anything for the next few minutes, I apologize because I'm just setting up. Oh, I need a pan. All right, now I got a pan. Yeah, and congrats on 100 subs, brother. Oh, this got some chunky material. And we're not going to classify it either because too lazy, makes too much noise. And all my classifiers are upstairs because, like I said, I've been trying to drive Paydirt for a while. I prefer 6 p.m. It makes it 4 p.m. for me now. Yep. That's why we'll run the poll and we'll see. I might leave it the same. I'm not a huge fan of 6 p.m., but it's not all about me. So I want to do what I can get the most people watching the show and enjoying the show. So if the majority of people prefer 8, 7, 6, Oh, troubled one. Oh my gosh. I even made sure I put Central on there just so not confuse people. But I'm always horrible with time zones. I really wish, I wasn't very good in school, so, time zones always throw me off. I'm always absolutely horrible at them, so I totally get you there. I just use the oven. Well, like I said, I usually do use the oven. Like the Paydirt we went through last week, I'm saving that for a bag of Paydirt for my Patreon show, so I'll dry that out in the oven. But I've got 3 5-gallon buckets full of Tuesday tailings I need to dry out. And I'm not going to sit there one batch at a time. It'll take me forever. My electric bill will be horrendous. And, the weather people keep telling me it's going to be Sunday. So here we go. Got some big cobbles in here. A lot of dirt. Ooh, already seeing some gold. Look at that. You like the big stuff you can pick out. And there we go. We're going to put that back in there because this is a panning show. We want to pan it out. We're not picking. I don't even know what time zone. Dude, you don't know. I'm just like that. If I did not have a YouTube show, I would not ever know what time zone I lived in. It's only because I need to post stuff where I come out here, X number of times that I know what time zone I live in. Oh man, I saw some more chunky gold. Thank you very much again, Bradley, for this. Or Brad. You'll see his posts on here. His YouTube channel. His YouTube name is Brad, so we'll call him Brad. All right, Redman, and thank you for joining the show. And thank you to all four of my moderators. I appreciate y'all being here. And or all of you want to post the hidden link, make sure everyone that you go and leave a comment on the hidden link, because I am giving away, what is it, spot number 4 today out of 8. And once we've got all 8 spots filled up, we'll be giving out 2 bags of Paydirt from RJ's Paydirt. So. All right, Jason. Well, that's what I just vote. Here, I don't even look. What's the poll? Let me see what the poll's doing. Yeah. All right. So the poll is pretty much saying 6 p.m. right now. So it's looking like that. But then again, these are all my 6 p.m. people. That's why I want to leave the poll up to all the people that wander in at 7 start saying. All Things Country, how's it going? And thank you, mods, very much for dropping the link for me. Idaho Jeff. Well, the problem with that is, Reg, is I have a cat. And he would love nothing more than a giant tarp with dirt all over it. The minute I would walk upstairs to get some coffee or something, he would be right in it. I tried that once before. I have like a concrete tub that I put dirt in outside. And I had it inside. I put it in the concrete tub one day, and then it started to rain. So I brought the whole tub inside, put it in the basement, and I put a fan blowing on it, and an industrial fan that blows like a hurricane wind. And I went upstairs and I came back down, and the cat was in it peeing. So I had to throw away those 5 gallons turned into yard dirt. So, Tim, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So, already seeing some gold, some nice chunky gold. You can hear this one. We'll put this in the finishing pan. Yeah, it just becomes a huge litter box, you know. And he will, but I had a 5-gallon bucket, and I probably only had like a pound of dirt in it. But I had something sitting on top of the bucket. So, you know, a 5-gallon bucket. Everyone knows what a 5-gallon bucket looks like. You could probably only access like 10% of it. He squirmed his way into that bucket, left a surprise, and then climbed out. And I didn't know. And I was like, man, why does it stink in my basement? And, you know, his litter box was clean. And I was like, I went and moved it had a classifier that wasn't all the way on top. And I saw it and I was like, you little. My cat has ruined more Paydirt. Put a screen over it. Yeah, see, this is all just getting too complicated. I just need to wait for it to be hot outside and no rain. So I do need to get a big tarp, though, because like I said, I usually dry my dirt in one of those concrete tubs. But I've got so much. I probably, when I go to the Walmart later tonight after the show, I'll see if they have a tarp. Because it'll dry out so much faster. Because I just need like one day with a tarp and it'll all dry out. And again, this is, in case anyone's asking or wondering, this is Tennessee material. Let me see the note. Let me see where he got it from. Close to the border of Tennessee and Alabama. So, there we go. This is why I'm a dog person. No, I don't think anyone wants to join my Patreon and get some Tuesday tailings with a cat turd in it. Yeah, some more gold. Now we're starting to get the smaller gold. Hey, Scott Roberts, thank you for joining the show. I have a gold claw, but I've never really used it. I do know some people in chat use them. I think HD has used his a little bit. Huh. Donna. Thank you very much, Donna. You're way too kind to me, Donna. Thank you very much. No, Idaho Jeff. Unfortunately, my cat doesn't like to bury his. He wants his stuff pulled up immediately, so he does not. But I think it's because my cat is declawed. He was declawed when he was a kitten, and one of the side effects of declawing a cat is their paws can become very, very sensitive, and they won't like standing or being in cat litter. So it's actually on my to-do list tonight. That's why I've got to go to Walmart. I'm going to try. They have cat litter that's supposed to be softer on paws to see if that helps them out. And I didn't know they had that. Just somebody told me about it. So I'm going to try some of that out and see if it helps his little tootsies out for when he's using the potty. So it's been on my to-do list to use a gold claw forever. I have piles of pans that I've been wanting to try out and do videos on. And the gold claw being one of them, I just, you get used to something. I'm so used to this one that even when I'm just panning out off video or having some fun, I always just forget to try other pans out. Or I will try with a new pan, but I'll start getting frustrated with it, so then I just kind of stop. And Idaho Jeff, I don't know if I said hi, but hi. Thank you for joining the show. Ron Hubbard, thank you. Aqua Donkey Prospecting, thank you for joining the show. Another nice little picker in there. This one's kind of skinny, but still making sound on the pan. So, yeah, that is one problem if you have dogs and cats. The dogs think that they're treats. They say, "Oh, why is this cat hiding this treat from me?" Editing my first behind the camera. There you go. I'm never a fan of editing videos. I have to edit one tomorrow. I was supposed to be doing it tonight, but like I said, I'm going to do some Walmart excursion. So I'll be editing a video tomorrow. Has the gold claw gone up? I see. Okay, since we're talking about the gold claw, I mean, I have gone on this rant before, and I'll go on it again. So when the gold claw first came out, it was a fundraiser project. It was on whatever the fundraiser is. It was on some site, where you donate money so someone can get enough money to build it. He didn't actually have a gold claw. He had a prototype for the gold claw. He got all these people to invest. He said, invest in the gold claw, and part of you investing was you'd be guaranteed to buy a gold claw. So if you invested, I think it was $40, you would get a gold claw. The gold claw came out and it was $40. So I was like, what was the purpose of investing? You got all these people to fund your project and they got nothing out of it. They got nothing. And then the fact that he was charging $40 for a gold pan that essentially everyone else funded. He essentially went to 10,000 people. They all loaned him $40 and he sent them a gold claw. I just didn't like it. And then when the gold claw first came out, he said it wouldn't lose gold. And it was just, I saw it, a video he made where he said the gold claw would not lose gold. It wouldn't. And I asked him why. And the reason he says the gold claw will not lose gold is because when you use the gold claw, you put it under the water, just like I am here. And that's his basis, is that the gold claw goes underwater. Every single pan, the dirt goes underwater. Gold floats. If gold floats, it doesn't matter what kind of pan you have. The gold will float out of the pan. It's just, the gold claw is just a gimmicky pan that he overcharges for. That's absolutely ridiculous. It won't catch gold any better than any other pan, really, but, more gold here. And let me catch up on chat. I saw some people in chat and I didn't get, because I was on my rant, I didn't get to see and answer their chat. So give me 1 second. Thank you very much. I actually have a gold claw. It's HD Shovel that actually donated one to me just so it could sit on my shelf. HD collects bags of Paydirt. I collect gold pans. Let me see. And Gentleman Prospector, thank you very much. Better off panning out the quartz. Yeah, Tim, this is supposed to be on the border. This probably doesn't have any natural gold in it. It's on the border of Tennessee and Alabama. So I don't know the exact area. I'd have to look at a map. But I don't think this has natural gold. It's just, it's the same thing as most people that have Paydirt. They add gold. So this did have gold added to it. Wesley, I know. See, that's what, I have funded Kickstarter. That was the project site. I'm actually a Kickstarter member now for a guy who does a comic book that, he's doing a really big comic book coming back out. And the reason you go on Kickstarter was, so if I went on Kickstarter by supporting him by giving him $50, I'm saving because when the book comes out, it'll be $75. So I'll save $25, but I'm funding it. And that's what I kind of thought with the gold claw, that if you invested 40, you'd get a gold claw, then it would come out and it'd be 60. So you'd make a little bit of, you save a little bit of money by funding them. But nope, it is full price and you got absolutely nothing for funding him. I mean, like nothing, not a sticker, not a little bag of Paydirt, nothing. No, I've always been kind of, not too happy with the fact that someone running a fundraiser and then charged every one of his fundraiser people full price is kind of like, he's making money now, fist over dollar every time he sells one because a whole bunch of people donated and let him get the mold made. Because that's what it was. He needed like, $50,000 to get the mold made so then he could start pumping them out. That's it. Send me $40. I'll buy all kinds of gold pans. And I guarantee you too, if you did a poll, like if I was to do a poll on my channel, I bet you 90% of the people, if you asked them what the best gold pan was, they would all say the Garrett. The Garrett gold pan, the Super Sleuths. And you can get them on Amazon for $8 to $10 shipped every month. The price fluctuates from $8 to $12, but it's by far the best overall pan. And, people come out with these highfalutin pans for $40. Nah. I mean, this pan, I think it cost me like $12 for this pan. They come with two pans. It's this one, the 10-inch and the 14-inch. And I think they're right around like $22 or something like that. I mean, $40 for a pan, unless the pan has a little automation in it or does something special, it's, nothing. East Wing. Yeah, so most pans, 90% of pans are pretty similar to each other. They're all the same. They'll have 10-inch and a 14-inch, maybe a 12-inch. They'll have a couple riffles. They'll all be designed pretty much the same. It's just what your hand gets used to. My hand is really used to this pan, so if I use something else, it's just kind of a little bit different. But all pans are pretty much the same. But then you get these ones that people think are just, a ton of info. Garrett Super Sleuths, that's it. Keith and Wynn, how's it going? Garrett, yeah. The gold grabber. I have one of those somewhere. All things country. It's the same thing with color. You're going to get used to whatever pan you like. And the same thing with color. I've seen some people like black pans. Some people like green pans. Some people like pink pans. There's even some red pans out there. There's actually a red pan I've been trying to... I always tell myself I need to buy, but then I think, well, if I buy, it's just going to sit on my shelf as well. I forget who makes the red pan, but it looks pretty good. I'm just always curious what the gold would look like on a red pan. Gregory Whittleton, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. You use whatever pan makes you happy. Just don't spend a ton of money on it. That's my motto. You know, the same reason why I do Paydirt reviews, because I want people to be able to buy the best bang for your buck Paydirt. Why buy $100 bag of Paydirt with $50 worth of gold when there's another $100 bag of Paydirt with $80 worth of gold? You know, all pans pretty much do the same thing. They're just means to catch gold. So, you know, a $10 gold pan will probably catch gold just as good as a $80 gold pan. So, magnet tap. Yeah, when you're watching me on my face cam, on the very top of my shelf, I have a black pan. It's called the Bat Pan, and it's a guy who's a missionary, and it's essentially a triangle shaped pan, but one side of the pan is actually a magnet. So once you're panning and you get down to the final stuff, you would just run everything on that side of the pan to catch all the magnetite. I mean, it also kind of traps gold if you're not really careful with it, but I always thought it was a really cool pan. And it also has a built-in classifier on the top. When we go back to the face cam, you can see it. But I always like the idea of adding, because then it actually, the pan, I think that pan only cost me $30 shipped, and it shipped from overseas. You know, so the guy was only charging like $15 for the pan and $15 for shipping, but this was, 8 or 9 years ago when shipping was a lot cheaper. But you can get, I always thought that would made it worth paying a little bit more for a pan if it had like a magnet or something in it. This is a 10-inch pan. I always use a 10-inch pan. I think the 10-inch pan is the perfect indoor pan. If I was outside panning, I would probably use a 14-inch pan. I do like the 14-inch pan. I really do like the 14-inch pan, the Martin 14-inch pan, but it's just too big for a sink and a live show. I think the 10-inch pan, especially if I was going to only be using one pan, a 10-inch gives you a lot more physical control over it for when you're trying to get that fine gold out. What about sluice mats? Well, that's a different story. Sluice mats, you can get, miner's moss really cheap, but it's going to miss a lot of gold. But then you can get these super, super fancy ones like Dream Mat. So, but you're gonna pay for them. So it just depends. And then you get all these different people telling you different things. Luckily for me, 99% of what I do is with a gold pan, because man, sluices are crazy, the different types of matting. Leave it at the time I have to RIPA. Yeah, it looks like 6 p.m. is going to win. It's already at 50% out of 3 options, so. Leslie. Who has the best Paydirt, Gregory? Well, I'm going to have to go with right now. It's going to be Gold Nugget Sales. They are my 2024 Paydirt champion for a reason. So they have an abundant selection. They have good ROIs. So, I mean, you might find somebody that occasionally will have a better ROI than Gold Nugget Sales, but they might not be around in 6 months. They might have issues with customer service or something else down the line. Right now, Gold Nugget Sales. And number 2 with Vendetta Prospecting, who is my 2023 champion. And it's not too long. We only got like 4 or 5 months until I start my 2023, 2022 champions. My 2024 is undeclared yet. So, yeah, Gold Nugget Sales was my 2023 champion. Vendetta was my 2022. And pretty soon we're going to start up with the 2024. I still haven't figured out who's going to be in it yet, though, because this year, I don't think I'm going to be doing 16 teams. I think it was too much last year. Some of them didn't really even have a chance. So we might go down to 12. We might do 8. I don't know yet. But we are going to have a 2024 Paydirt Championship. We'll see who wins this one. And yes, you can always go check out my website, millerprospecting.com. I forgot I even had that. Good thing you reminded me. And I do list my top 10 in there. And they are pretty much in order what I think they should be. The only exception would be the last 2, which is Yukon Alley and Mammoth Gold Nuggets. That's because Yukon Alley isn't always open. She does close a lot of times when she's mining. And Mammoth Gold Nuggets is not local. It's not United States, so shipping is a little bit more expensive with them. Me and my clean buddy have a love-hate relationship. So, I know I'm going to be doing a review on the buddy. I know a couple people have done a review on the buddy, but I will be having a review next month. So because it's still July. In August, I'm going to be doing a review on the buddy, but I'm actually going to be doing a sluice battle. I will be battling the cleanup buddy with another sluice to see which one works better, which one handles more dirt, which one handles more gold, things like that. So I like Vendetta. Vendetta will definitely be a harder Paydirt. I don't think Vendetta really offers anything that's too easy. While Gold Nugget sales will definitely have a bigger variety of Paydyrts, and you can get ones all the way from super easy to super hard. Vendettas, I think typically he does do a scale on his Paydyrts. He'll tell you it's from 1 to 10. I think the lowest he ever gets is about a 6. So get pans at shows, save money. Either that or Amazon. You'd be surprised at how cheap sometimes Amazon people trying to unload their products that have been sitting. Because one of the things is, so when you ship stuff to Amazon, they charge you shelf space. So if you send them 100 pans to sell and you sell one pan every single month, Amazon charges you for that shelf space. So you're going to pay, 50 cents a month for that shelf space. After a while, people just start unloading them. I know a couple of years ago, the Super Sluice had got all the way down to like $6 shipped. $6 from Amazon shipped because they were just trying to unload it because it takes up a lot of shelf space. Yeah, the cleanups. See, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a battle with the cleanup buddy. Is the cleanup buddy actually uses the banjo pan mat, which is there's a reason why he does not show anything for reference in his in the pictures of the buddy. They don't want you to know just how small it is. It is very, very small. It's about the size of a shoebox, you know. It uses a very small, I think the mat's like 5 inches. I don't even think it's a 6-inch mat. He's just, essentially what it was because Dream Mat already had a cleanup sluice. They already had a recirculating sluice, but it was just using their already mats. They were using adventure mats and things like that. But nobody was buying the Dream Mat for the banjo pan because nobody buys the banjo pan. So they decided to just get rid of their stock and make a sluice just for a very specific. I'm sure they had a whole bunch of mat just sitting around that nobody was buying. So they figured we'll make a sluice that particularly fits that. So. Yeah. But it is a very, very tiny one, which is why I want to do a battle with it, because I know it's really, really popular right now. So I know a lot of people like it. I've seen a lot of people have been doing reviews on it. It is fairly cheap, in the $90 range, shipped. You know. But here, give me a second. My son is texting me. I need to see what's up with him. So give me 1 second. Look at this nice pile of dirt here. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Let me see. Oh, I guess he's worried about the big storm. And just by the way, it is really storming here. So if the power does go out, the show might go off. All right. All right. All right. I'm back. Yeah, my son's power just went out, so he was checking on me to see if my power was still on. So I might have to do a short show though, because if his power stays out, I might have to go pick him up and go bring him over here so he's not sitting in the house with no power. And Triple, I don't watch any other reviews until I've reviewed a product. So I did see you did have a buddy video. I've seen a couple people. Vendetta's done some buddy videos. I just won't watch them, so I'm not biased when I do my review on them. So then once I watch it, and especially with sluices, once I do my sluice review, I'll keep doing it. I'll go back and watch everyone's. I do have them all bookmarked. Yeah, even more gold. Hey, we're getting some good gold out of this thing. I'm pretty sure this bag, Brad said there was a half a gram in there. I think, I have to look at the note again. There, we'll just get it all in there at once. Yeah. And Casey, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours is about. I probably sleep a total of 5 hours. Now, getting up out of bed, you might count it as 8 hours. So, because I usually don't go to sleep until like midnight, 1, and then I'm up at 6, but I usually don't get out of bed until like 8. I have to lay there for 2 hours and wait for my body to, want to move. Oh, I have AC. That's why I think I might have to go pick up my son because it's hot. I don't know if he's going to want to sit in that house all night without AC. And kids, no internet, no TV. 5 hours is 3 days. See, when I used to work when I was young, it was 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep a night. That was it. At one point, I used to work at a bar. I'd work at the bar from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. So I'd work 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. And then 4 of those days, I would go and work at a nightclub, and I'd work there from 9 p.m. until 4 in the morning. So I'd get home at like 6:30, sleep for like 2 hours, and go to the nightclub. The nightclub was like a block from my house. And I'd go work the nightclub. But, that's when I used to party a lot and drink a lot. So, it was just, I got to work at 2 bars with free booze. So, but I only did that for probably 6 months. Then, it starts wearing on you after a while. And the nightclub, I didn't like one of the managers. So after about 6 months and no sleep, he said something to me I didn't like. And that was it. Like, well, I'm out of here. And I'll never forget, too, because I remember he was like, oh, you can't do that. You got to count out your drawer. We got to, go through your booze, make sure everything's there, do a liquor count. I was like, nope. I was like, bye. And, that's when they used to pay you $2 an hour. So, they probably owed me like $20. I was like, no, you can keep my $20. I'm not doing nothing. And the most energetic when I wake up. See, I'm the exact, I do have more energy once I'm out of bed, but my body is very old and very broken down. So it takes it a long time to actually, get up and not be sore. So once I'm up, then I can go. And that's usually when I do most of my stuff for a good few hours. Then my body starts saying, oh, well, you did too much. So I get up around 7. I roll out of bed. Yeah, see, that's the same way. It takes me 2 hours to actually become functioning, or my body, my brain will. I'll usually check out emails. That's when I do a lot of my news reading, catch up on the news, check my emails, check my stock portfolio, which takes all about a half a second since I don't have one. I was looking at something on Amazon the other day and I saw they had a really big shaker table on there for like $400. And I was like, man, I really want to put this on my credit card. I mean, it was like a 6 foot by 4 foot shaker table, but I was like, it's got to be a scam. 100% it's a scam because, they had no feedback. They didn't, I was like, yeah, they had no other products. Like they're just farming for, info so then they could try to sell you all kinds of stuff or something. And they were shipping it, not Amazon. So that's why I'm hitting the weights right now. Shaker tables are boring. Yeah, I would just like to see one. I've never seen one except for in, videos. I've used tons of different sluices. I've used Miller tables and blue bowls. Um, but I always thought a shaker table would be cool to watch. And I had a one of the big wheels. I had one of those. I had like the Desert Fox wheel, I think it was. And that was fun to watch, but just too boring, you know. If I don't lock myself in a house. uh, that was one of the first things I did when I bought my house and I changed the locks. I used to have doors that would lock if you closed it. And I was like, nope, I can't have that. I was like, I will lock myself out every day. I was like, I have to. Like, no, I have to change those locks. It has to be key lock only. Yeah, I was actually looking at something too that it was a plans to build. And I was like, why would I buy plans to build something on the internet? You can easily Google it and find those exact plans somewhere else for free. They might not include instructions, but I mean, come on. It's from Timu. I would be surprised. I have searched Timu before for like gold pans and things like that just to see what they have. And they never have anything really good when it comes to gold prospecting on Timu. AliExpress does, but unfortunately they'll tell you have to buy 10 of them or 20 of them or 100 of them. So it's not worth it then. Yeah. I like the Desert Fox was okay. I mean, it would catch gold, but it's again, it's just like the Miller table, and it's just like the Blue Bowl. It's really, really finicky. Where if you don't have it dialed right in, you'll just watch the gold fall out of it, and then unless you're, especially in my case, most of the material I get is from Paydirt, so it's different material. What I might pan out today will be totally different the next day. So you don't want to have to be fussing with it every single time you put it together. But if you're like in somewhere like in the desert or Arizona and you're always going to be digging the same material, it wasn't bad. Once you got it dialed in, it would work. You know. Yeah, I've never been a fan of people that sell like, how-to guides. Like I was thinking about rebuilding my shed. And I was like, man, let me look up to see if I can find some plans for a new shed. And it's all like, oh, for $39.95, we'll tell you how, we'll sell you plans for a shed. I'm like, it's a shed. I don't need you to sell me something for $40. Oh no. Oh, and the reason Nightbot is talking about Missouri is because Brad, the donator of this Paydirt, is from Missouri. So even though this is Tennessee material we're going through right now. A nice little pilot. Nice little garnet right there. Yeah, and make sure you smash that like button because otherwise YouTube is going to come to my house and beat me up. They have told me if I don't start getting more likes, they're going to start coming to my house, breaking kneecaps. Gold pants for 78 cents. Yeah, you can get some. Alibaba's crazy. AliExpress is crazy. I mean, they literally will sell you a, 40-foot trommel. But then you got to pay like $5,000 to ship it, It's only $3, but then they're going to charge you $25,000 shipping. They do. They have ones, or I've seen ones where they have how to build a Miller table, and it's like made out of plywood and wood. It's like the thing's going to warp in 3 months. Come on. I don't know, Tim. YouTube, like I said, I don't think YouTube likes me very much. I don't know. Because I've had it before where, who was it? Allison from Yukon Alley. I did a video on her, and she noticed that because she does, a lot of people will search for their hashtags. They'll search, hashtag Alley, just to see if anybody's done a new video on her. And she was asking me, she's like, oh, why haven't you done a video on me in a while? I thought you said you had. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's right there. But if you actually searched for, hashtag Yukon Alley, my video doesn't show up. My last video does not show up. I don't know why. Even though I have the hashtag in there, my older videos will show up, but not my recent ones. So I think I must have said something about YouTube at one time or another. And, they're upset with me now or something. I don't care. I can only do what I do, and if YouTube don't like it, oh well. I can't put that much thought into like how to beat the YouTube algorithm, and I know they have lots of people that do it. I do it, make it easy on me, and that's it. There's absolutely no gold in Missouri. There is some gold in Missouri. That's 100% wrong. There is. It's all glacier gold. They actually had a working mine a long time ago. I was looking up the facts. Every single week I look up more gold facts, and I was looking up some gold facts about Missouri. And at one time there was a working mine in Missouri, but the vast majority of any gold that was found in mines was a byproduct. So they do have someone would be mining nickel, and they would find a little bit of gold, but they do have glacial gold. They have glacial gold in almost every state, so it's just gonna be fine gold. And there you go, Pony Express. YouTube has been glitchy lately. Yeah, like I said, I can't worry about, I don't look at my analytics on YouTube. I don't, the only thing I ever see analytical wise for YouTube is every once when I open up my app, it'll tell me how many subscribers I have. That's it. So I know I'm at like 11,000. I don't look at anything else. I never look up any particular video to see, because every once in a while I'll have to look up an old video for, a current video's reference, and I'll be like, oh wow, that video actually got that many views. Oh well, but I won't look at its analytics to see why, because I don't want to start making every video the exact same, and I don't want every one of my thumbnails to be me holding up a giant nugget saying, biggest nugget I ever found, biggest bag of Paydirt, best bag of Paydirt I ever found, so, yeah. It is at 1.4, well, there you go, that sounds good. Hey, Philippe, thank you very much for joining the show. Anyone else, if I missed you, thank you very much for joining the show and watching an old man pan out some Paydirt, which was donated to the channel, by the way, by Brad Lacey. So make sure he gets a big shout out as well. All right, they got too many chunkies. We have to leave whatever's in the pan. Typing between sets, getting all swole up and typing. Oh man, watching videos while you're getting all swole. I know it sucks. I haven't been to the gym. I used to go to the gym at least 2 or 3 times a week, but since I've been having knee problems again, I haven't been going because it's kind of a bummer. But I need to just start going. The knee will just get worse, and then it'll go under surgery, and they'll clean it all up. Hey, Esrip, how's it going? And make sure anyone who is just joining in or been here for a while, make sure you go. There is a poll in the channel. Make sure you vote in the poll. Just out of curiosity, I want to make sure that I've got the best time for everyone, you know. No, he's probably not. But you never know. You can't, Alan. There is workarounds for it, but you essentially can't. You have to. The only way I've seen people do it, which I know a lot of people don't like to do, is so they'll do a giveaway on their channel and they'll say they'll leave a comment on this video, and then they'll say you have to be publicly subscribed, which means if you go in your comment section on any of your videos, you'll see a little icon next to their name and it'll tell you that they are subscribed to your channel and for how long. But a lot of people don't like to put their accounts on public because then everyone can see every single channel you're subscribed to. So if you're subscribed to Miller Prospecting, but you're also subscribed to Big Girls Like to Party channel as well, or, you know, Naked Fishing Girls, everyone will know that. And so a lot of people don't like to be public. But yeah, there's no way, which is one of the reasons why a lot of channels, so there's a reason why channels like Vendetta and a lot of other channels now call giveaways hucks, because some people will search every single day on YouTube giveaway, and they just go to every single channel that has a video that says giveaway and enter it. It's why you'll see like a typical video, like my typical videos probably average, 20 or 30 comments per. But if I say doing a giveaway, then that will jump up to 100. And that's probably a lot of people who aren't really subscribers to the channel. They're just people who, are entering the giveaway. You should keep track of how much gold you find. I actually originally on my list of videos to shoot this year I was going to do one on how much I've panned out, and I still might do the video. I do have all the numbers somewhere. It would just mean a lot of like me going back through videos, going back through notes to find out exactly how much I've panned out, how much gold. But then I kind of started thinking, do I want that info public? Yeah. So here we go. This is the gold. Now here, we're going to take a break for a minute. I'm going to text my son, make sure everything is kosher with him. And then we'll see if we're going to pan out the other bag as well. And you're welcome, Alan. There's no real good way to do it, unfortunately, which is why, I used to do subscriber giveaways, but then I kind of realized and I kind of gave up on it and stopped doing it. I think the last one I did was probably when I was at 5,000 subs, was that you would just get so many people that you'd never heard of before winning. Like I think for my 5,000 sub, I think I gave away like 5 or 6 prizes. I didn't recognize any of the names who won. And it was just so, it just bums you out when you'll see people who are active all the time on your channel, leaving comments every time, like, GS. Like you'll see GS prospecting on every single video, leaving a comment on everybody's video. This dude makes sure he leaves a comment on everyone's video. But then you'll all of a sudden, whoever wins, it won't be GS. It'll be like Bubbles, anime. And it's like, what? Why is Bubbles anime, leaving a comment on my video? I know Bubbles anime isn't watching my channel, so, you know, it's a tough one. You got to call it something else. You just have to put out a video. So a lot of times what you can do is, I know someone has done it before, is they will put up a video. They'll leave a hidden thing in there. They'll say, like, in the middle of the video, they'll say, say snuffer bottle for the win. And then what they'll do is shut off comments after about a week. And then they'll announce the giveaway and say, if I go back to this old video, that's how I'm going to do it, is the people who paid attention. So on my Huckleberry, they had to comment on 2 videos other than that one. Yeah, I mean, there's no real way to defeat it. You're always going to get people who are only interested in the giveaway. But you figure what you can do is make them leave comments on every single video, go watch every single video, just to get those looks, Back to lurking, GS. What's up, brother? Alan Jackson, how's it going? And Culver Prospecting, how's it going? I've seen you been in chat active, and I've just been ignoring you. And thank everyone for being here. Let's say, give me 1 second. And thank you very much. Who is that? Donna, for dropping the hidden video. Make sure, everyone, you go to, while I am texting my son, to the hidden video, leave a comment so you can get entered to win spot number 4 tonight. And once we get to 8 spots, I'll be giving away 2 bags of Paydirt from RJ's Paydirt. All right, let's put this in a pan. All right. We don't hear back from my son. We'll just finish panning out. But there we go. That's for the Tennessee bag. And I think, Tim, no, the gold I don't believe is from Tennessee. I think this is all just, it was added. Gold added to some Tennessee dirt. He just wanted to send me something, and he had some Tennessee dirt. So we'll put this one on the side. And I guess we're going to start going through the Alabama bag as well, because we got time. Let me see. Let me see what my son has to say. I agree, Alan. I agree. It's just doing giveaways. Like I said, there's a reason why I stopped giving them. And a long time ago, when my channel was a lot smaller, I was in the same level as a lot of other people, and I was recommending people just stop doing them. It's hard. You want to give stuff away to the people that support you and, on your channel, but then it's, they have so many people that, just come in to try and take prizes that, weren't there. All right, so I guess we're going to start panning. He's going to stay at home for a while. They're just waiting to see if they're going to get their power back on. The links drop you from the live show? Which one? Oh, the hidden links? Yeah, there's no way to do a hidden link or anything else without it making you leave the show. HD always. All right, so we're going to do the Alabama bag now. Let's see what different material this is. Oh no, there was a note in it and I just cut the note in half. Here, let me see what the note inside says. You know when you like fold up paper and you cut it and it turns into like the little snow angels holding hands? That's what this letter looks like now. Okay, so this is from the Alabama Gold Camp. Oh. Well, it says in the note, not to say who this is from, but I think I busted that. But you can't put the note inside the bag because I've already told people before. But this, so this isn't from Brad. This is just from a subscriber. It does have a crystal in it. That's a pretty cool one. That will go into the treasure box. This, so maybe people can guess where this dirt is from. It's from Alabama. Let's see if you can guess where in Alabama. There is supposed to be a coin in here that he got metal detecting, but we'll see it. I recognize this dirt, that's for sure. JBM, how's it going? This bag does, Tim, again, this bag will have gold added. He added gold to both bags just to make sure I found something during the show. And thank you again, Brad, who might not be Brad since he doesn't want it. Now, I do have some of Brad's material on my shelf. This is just other material he had that he decided to make some Paydirt and donate to the channel. And again, it does have added gold to it. If you work the, Tim, if you work the community pile, then they add gold to the community pile. So there's almost no gold there anymore. I mean, you really have to work their dredge for a long time to find any gold. And the reason it's popular is because there's nothing else close by. If you're near Alabama Gold Camp, you're not close to anything else. So it's the same reason why most people go to Thermal City. That's where they're close to. So if you're closer to, I know most of the people in the community, either if you're in California area, you're going to go mine somewhere in California. If you're near, North Carolina, you're going to go to Thermal City. Alabama tends to draw in the people that are close to it, and that's it. It's why I went to Alabama Gold Camp, is because I was living in Louisiana at the time, and it was, a day's drive. It was either that or go spend 2.5 days driving to North Carolina, paying for, more expensive hotel rooms and stuff like that. So one tiny little piece in here, but we're going to just leave that one and add some more material. So it was purely the fact that Alabama Gold Clamp was close to us. So, and I enjoyed it when I went. I mean, I used the dredge, and I had fun. It was a fun experience. We used the high banker, we used the dredge. Was it worth it? Probably. Fun wise, yes. I didn't find any gold. I went home with, I think, 2 gallons of cons that had like 2 specks of gold in it, but yeah, you're not going to find much gold. They're not going to let you work any of the areas that, they still think have gold. So essentially, the owners of the Alabama Gold Camp, they work the river. And once they're done working a spot, that's when they open it up to people to work on. So they already sucked all the gold out, you know. I think there used to be someone that used to work Maryland that used to find good gold in Maryland, but I don't remember where they were at. The thing that drove me crazy about the Alabama Gold Camp is the garnets. There are so many garnets, and they're not tiny garnets. It's all big, big garnets. I'm sure you could probably make, if you went to Alabama Gold Camp, if you saved all your garnets and you had a tumbler, you could probably make your money back more with selling polished garnets than you could finding gold. Package Total, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, I found a little gold on the high banker we rented. I think we were on the high banker for 4 hours, and I think we found a little bit of gold. I don't remember how much. Um, and then we were on the dredge for 6 hours the next day, and the dredge I found 2 specks of gold. That was it. But then again, they wouldn't let, even though when we rented the dredge, they said we could pick anywhere we wanted to set up. And when I picked the spot I wanted, they said no, they couldn't set up there for some reason. Like it'd be hard to set up there. And I was like, I don't care. It's taken out of my time. I'd rather do that. But they were like, oh, well, yeah, we'll just set you up here instead. All right, now we're getting some gold. Got a couple pieces there. Oh, no. What's up, Mike? I'm doing a live show. Huh? Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. People, I don't know why. During my live show, everyone knows I do my live show at the same time. Everyone always chooses to text me during it. There we go. Hey, Bob's Pistols, how's it going? Probably like the diamond mine. Yeah. I actually have you can buy the dirt from the diamond mine. They started selling, you could buy, and I actually have 2 of their boxes. I have a medium-sized box and a large-sized box. And I've been holding it for probably 9 months now. Originally I was going to go through it with my son, but I don't know if I haven't really wanted to, because I know it's so hard to find the diamonds in it, and they don't add any to it. So maybe one of these days, I'll just ship them to somebody. Maybe I'll just give them away on one of my Patrons or something. I did see I did see George did post that he was back on Patreon yesterday, I think. So I'm guessing he's going to be back with a new giveaway that only benefits him pretty soon. So I'm sure he'll be coming out with the great raffle coming soon, or rodeo, or whatever he wants to call it, where, you know, people are going to buy into it and then he'll disappear again. Then he'll come back and open another rodeo, and this one will be bigger and better than the last one. And, you know, you know, I don't know. But I did see he's back. He's been gone for what is almost a month now, or, you know, where he disappeared, and but now he's back and he says he's got bigger plans and greater things. You know, in my mind means rodeo. So, you know, people still haven't got their prizes from his last rodeo. Then he came back and he started selling stuff for his new rodeo. He's selling Paydirt, and people aren't getting that again. So, you know, if you haven't, I have a video about Big Texas prospecting. I highly suggest everyone watch it, because he has not changed. He will keep saying he is going to ship. He will keep coming out with excuses on why he hasn't shipped stuff. You know, in the end, people are not going to get what they get. And if you actually watch that video too, in my Big Texas video, there's a comment from somebody in there. It's actually the claim owner for the claim in New Mexico. And George did not know he was selling, or he did not know that George was selling his dirt. George told him that he was just there to make videos on content, not that he was taking all that dirt to sell in Paydirt. So, you know. But I don't want to get into that too much, because, you know, we'll see if he ever comes back or not. But yeah, they do send you for the diamond mine. It's a really big box. I mean, I've got 2 of them sitting there. All right, yeah, send me a text, Comer. You know, but yeah, so I have 2 other boxes. I ordered one of their medium boxes. I was going to do a Paydirt battle with my son with it, with a medium box for my son and a big box for me, just to see. But I saw a video about somebody, I think I watched a review on this stuff, and they didn't find anything in one of the boxes. And I was like, oh, my eyesight is too bad to be going through a giant box looking for a diamond that I have no idea what it looks like. And so I'll probably end up just maybe for Christmas or something giving away to somebody, for one of my Patreon members or something. You know, I figure it's so hard to find diamonds at the diamond mines. Them just digging a box and throwing, you know, if you go to the diamond mines, and I know some people that have been to the diamond mine, you're churning through hundreds of pounds of dirt, you know, looking for stuff, not just a little 30-pound box. So, you know, I would much rather go there. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you go there, that's part of your vacation. You know, you go there for the day and hang out, dig through dirt. But we'll see. Maybe it'll end up being a Patreon Christmas prize or something. I know the way and plus, like, one of the ways you're supposed to go through diamonds is, you know, you use the classifier and you shake it and get everything to go to the center, then flip it over. I just don't want to have to get a classifier and cut out the center and go through all that trouble. You know, I don't remember why I bought them. I think it was just on a whim. I saw it and I was like, ooh, fancy stuff. Oh, we finally get to the coin. There we go. I don't want to dunk this in the water, because we'll be going in my collection. Because I do see it as a barber dime, and I do love dimes. So I'm a huge fan of dimes. I think they have the most beautiful artwork. There's some other coins that have some beautiful artwork. Diamonds is more affordable for me, though. So I do like the dimes. So that will be going in my diamond treasure box. And thank you again, Bradley. And he did say he found this metal detecting in Missouri. So that's a good find. I can't read the year because I'm blind. 1909. 1909. That's a good one. Refocus. I would trade you some gold for it. For what? For the diamond dirt? If so, just send me an email. If you just type in email into chat, it'll tell you my email, or send me a message on Patreon. Yeah, just send me a message. Because I can tell you, it's probably going to be the death of me, that dirt, because I've tripped over those boxes. I used to keep them here in my studio, but I kept tripping over them all the time or kicking them, and I was like, okay, I need to move them. Now they're holding down my shelf in the other room with all my pans on it. So, hello, Wildcat. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah. Now, if you send it to me, it might take me a day or two to reply. I'm really, really slow at replying. I have horrible customer service, if anyone ever wants to know. I would give myself about a 5 for customer service because I'm usually pretty. I'm one of those people that I will read an email early in the morning and I don't reply to emails on my phone. I just can't text, or, I'm a horrible texter. My thumbs hit every single letter except for the one I meant to. So I will read an email and then think up the response in my head and then say, well, once I get to my computer, I'll reply. But then my brain takes it as, since I thought up the reply, I did reply. So I will go days and be like, oh, wait, did I send a reply or not? And I'll look and I didn't. It was just in my brain. So. No, that's awesome, Red Man. Yeah, I keep telling myself I want to start buying graded dimes for a collection for my kids for, later in life. But then I kind of talk myself out of it because I'm like, oh, I could buy a bag of Paydirt with that. Get some more gold here. So I never end up doing it. But then also, because then I'm very like anal when it comes to things I collect. Like the gold on my shelf, the Paydirt on my shelf has to be a specific amount of gold in it. So if I go to coins and I want them all to be the exact same grade, but then you have to like decide which grade that's going to be, because some of them can get really, really pricey if it's a higher grade. But then you also don't want to then say, well, okay, I'll go down to, 66 or something like that. Because then if you get a newer coin that's a 66, it's kind of like, you know. Yeah. Um, After the show, text me, PA. You're probably logging in with the wrong account. If you text me, I'll text you what email you have on there, because I had that happen to somebody else, and it was because they had two emails. Like they had joined Patreon under one email, then they later on joined Patreon again under a different email. So, but I know you are a tier member. I was looking at them today. I know you're still a current tier member, so maybe it's just you got the wrong email, so it's logging you into a different account. I have a silver. Can it happen? Yeah, see. That's exactly it. That's when I say things, I'll say like, tell myself, like I'll see, a lot of times I'll search on eBay or something, or I'll see something. I'll be like, oh man, I really want this dime. It's a good grade, or it's this and this. Then I'll say, oh, then a bag of Paydirt, and the Paydirt always wins. So, Yeah, see, I used to collect silver dollars, American Eagles. And I had, at one point, I had every single American dollar, every American Eagle, every single one of them. I had multiple ones that were graded. I had a really big collection. But then when I became disabled, I sold it all off. So that was the majority. That was a big chunk of my funding, my original one. So back in the day, I used to collect two things, which was American Eagles and silver American Eagles, by the way, not gold, but silver American Eagles and comic books. And when I first became disabled, my first thing that I said I would sell would be my coins, because it was a lot less money than, and I was hoping to get approved by disability long before I had to sell other stuff, but I ended up having to sell all my silver dollars. And then I think it was like that kept me in business for about a year. And then I sold off the comic book collection. So. And hey, Mark Sheldon, I don't know if I said hi, but thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it as always. Coins are probably the better investment. Yeah, I mean, it depends. You just have to be smart. The problem with coins is a lot of times you can overpay a lot more on coins, if you're not paying attention. You really have to know what you're doing when you're buying coins, 30,000 wheat. I have somebody that has like 6 tons of old pennies. I mean, he has a picture. He sent it to me where it's like an entire room, just bags and bags of. And he's actually said he had to have an engineer come and check out his floor to make sure it wasn't sagging, because he was so worried that he's got so many pennies in the room. And then I ask him all the time, I'm like, dude, do you want to get rid of them? And he's like, yeah, I want to get rid of them, but I don't want to get rid of them. Hey, Gilbert, well, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate that. I just pan. I like having fun panning. I really love panning Paydirt. It's my hobby. This is the one thing that brings me joy and calm and peace and serenity is panning. So, and I get to hang out with everybody from the community while I do it. So now, typically, if I was panning not on camera, and sometimes I do it on camera, I would classify the material down, +10 and -10 usually. Sometimes if I think it's going to be challenging Paydirt, I'll do it before the live shows, but it does make it a lot easier to pan if you get rid of all the bigger stuff like the +10. There you go. Oh no, I had a blowout on my glove. There we go. There's some more. And if you don't know what I'm doing off the side, I'm pouring the little stuff into another pan that I'll pan out later. So essentially what I try to do is pan out about 90% of the material in the pan, get it down to the very fine stuff, and then put it in another pan to pan out later. All right, one more here. Had a cousin selling, yeah. Yeah, and I am live every single Tuesday. I start at 6 p.m. Central. I'm usually paying for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the show. I am Zaxxon. How's it going, brother? And yes, I have. In fact, I was telling him today, I need to get some of Troubled Ones Paydirt on my shelf. And we're going to try and work something out. Yeah. I know. I like his sticker. It's a very basic little sticker thing. I like that. Yeah, ever since I saw somebody put in one of their mail calls a bag of troubled ones, I've wanted to put one on my shelf. That Mary Jane, MJ and IRL, but she hates me now, so she will not send me a sticker. She's hoarding her sticker, so I can't put her bag on my shelf. And then Gentleman Prospector. So, I mean, there's some more. There's a whole bunch. There's tons of Paydirt, people in this community that want eventually to get on my shelf, but I can only afford usually, one bag every 2 months. Finally got the last of the Buffalo Nickel. Mm. All right. Some more gold in this one, then we'll do the last little pan. I'm going to pick out this garnet. Thank you for joining the show, Kristen. I appreciate that, Kristen. Thank you very much. And everyone who's joining my show, I appreciate y'all very much for watching the show. I always enjoy having people come here so it's just not some old man talking to himself. MCD prospecting. Here, I'm going to put a note, make sure we look. Oh, I see. I'll have to look at it. There we go. I'll have to look it up after. I see there's some reviews of some MCD prospecting Paydirt. So I'll definitely have to look at that. Be careful with those comics Kickstarters. It's actually a very well-known person. They had a TV show on, and their TV show got canceled, and they couldn't continue the TV series because the company owned the rights to the TV series. So the only rights they could get from the company was to actually make the TV show into a comic book, and they wanted to end the series. So how did the poll go? I don't know. And if anyone's still here, I'll tell you what the poll results are. If you haven't yet, at the top of live chat, there is a poll. Make sure you go vote for the poll on what time you'd prefer the show at. Currently, I start this show at 6 p.m. Central, but I want to make sure the best time wouldn't be 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Central. So make sure you go vote. Right now, the current poll is running at 42% 6 p.m., 39% at 7 p.m., and 19% at 8 p.m. So the vast majority of people either want the show to stay the exact same or go back to 7 o'clock, which is where it was at. If I made Paydirt, I'd be scared to have it. I don't give anyone, I don't go out to, I want every Paydirt seller to do good. I know a lot of people think that I'm out to get Paydirt sellers, but I'm really not. I really want all Paydirt sellers to do really, really well, because the more Paydirt sellers we have, the better it is. It's the same thing where people say, the more different grocery stores you have, the more products that are out there, the better the variety, the better the prices. So as long as you're putting out a decent Paydirt, the only one tip I would give to everyone, and I always tell this, and any new seller will probably verify, is one thing I harp on is description. I really think descriptions are important. but I will help people. I've had brand new sellers email me and I will proofread their description, tell them what I think of it, what they need to add, what they need to subtract, and stuff like this. I want sellers to do good. As long as you give it decent ROI, you ship decent and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but that was a crap. That was a ripoff. That was Clash trying to rip off his customers so he could afford to go buy whatever he was needing. Clash is a very, very smart individual. And the only reason that Clash released a new Paydirt was because he needed to fund something. Or in my opinion anyway. Is Clash needed some money. He said, I need to come up with $50,000 or $40,000 or whatever, or get a spike in income coming in. And so he needed a new Paydirt, and that was his Paydirt. And it was the exact, it's the exact same thing as if I told everyone for years and years and years and years and years and years to only buy Paydirt that was from Alabama. Only buy Paydirt from Alabama. And then as soon as, I needed money, said, hey, only buy Paydirt from California. And I'm selling a bag of Paydirt from California. So, no, it was just a money grab. It was 100% a money grab. And I do not like that. He could have released so many products. He's got a giant following. He could have come out with a 3-gram bag of Paydirt. He only runs about a 55% ROI on his 1-gram bag. So he could have come out with a 3-gram bag with a 65% ROI and he would have sold just as much, made just as much money. He was just going for an instant cash grab with as little gold coming out of his pocket as possible. So yeah, I laid into him. Now, and you're just going to have to do 2 shows. And what is it? Somebody's asked a question I want to get to. And yes, the gold vending machine. The only gold Paydirt vending machine I've ever seen was the one that was made by Lynch Mining. And he only did that, I think, at 2 shows. He had it made, and he brought it to a couple prospector gold shows that he went to, but it didn't really take off. So I think he kind of just nixed it. It was essentially just a vending machine he had wrapped. So, but I have seen one. The only one I've seen is the one that was Lynch Mining's. No. Like I said, Clash is a very smart person. There's a reason why his channel gets as many views and subscribers as it does. And, he pays attention to his analytics. He pays attention to this and that and, what his followers are watching better. That's why if you go back through Clash's history, he changes up what he was doing. He originally started off coin roll hunting, and then he saw that he was getting a lot more views for his Paydirt reviews. So he switched to that, and, that's what he focused on after that, So he knows what he's doing with his Paydirt too, and how to maximize the most money out of it and the least profitable for his customers, I mean, well, the thing is with Clash is, like I said, you're probably on average going to get a, if you buy one of his mid-tier Paydirts, you're probably going to get about a 50% ROI, which isn't great. It's not the worst Paydirt out there, but it's, pretty mid-tier. There's so many that are better. So he didn't need to come out with a brand new raw Paydirt with a 10% ROI, It was a pure money grab. So yeah, scorched earth on him. It's the one thing I don't like is I can deal with somebody with bad Paydirt or this or that. I just don't like when people pretty much come out and are lying a lot. Like I didn't like the Poly Paydirt, the Pioneer Poly Paydirt, because he was lying about it. He is still lying about it. The Pioneer Poly, he strategically left out the fact that Brian Thomas was essentially just slapping a label on his own Paydirt. And then Pioneer Poly, after my video came out, changed his description and put in his description that now Brian Thomas is making his Paydirt. He essentially came out and told everyone. But in his video, he says, but he's using Pioneer Poly Gold. And In my opinion, that is 100% again a lie, because I know for a fact that Pioneer Poly reached out to another Paydirt seller from Canada and begged her to sell him gold. Why would you be buying gold from another Paydirt seller if you had your own gold? And I mean, technically all gold. So if I went to Brian right now and said, hey, I need you to make me 10 bags of Paydirt, I will pay you for the gold and then sell that Paydirt and charge $40 more, say it's Miller prospecting dirt. Now, since I paid for the gold, it's technically mine and he's shipping it out. But the way he has it described in his new description is you think you're going to be buying Paydirt that Brian Thomas makes, but it's gold that Pauly found. No, it's not gold Pauly found. It's gold that Pauly bought. There's a huge difference, you know? Like, I don't ever tell anybody, if you're a Patreon member, that the gold that you're getting in a bag of Paydirt is Miller prospecting gold and let you think that this is gold that I mine. No, it's just gold I buy or get out of bags of Paydirt. So, it's all right, Wesley. I love a good rant. Gold at 77. Yeah, that does suck, but it was at 79. I'll tell you, so I had somebody, gold hit like 79.60 like 2 weeks ago or something like that. And right when it hit 79 something, I had someone reach out and they wanted to sell me some gold. So I told them, okay, I'll give you 77.50 for it per gram. They shipped it to me. Well, the FedEx driver ended up stealing it or something. The package is missing. And I'm kind of glad because right after he shipped it, the price dropped down to like 77.50. And I was like, well, I don't want to be buying gold at, spot. So I got out of that deal, but only because the FedEx driver's a crook. Oh. I agree somewhat all things country, but a lot of times people don't read descriptions. There's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people, and that's what one of the things this Clash was counting on. He first posted about his Paydirt through an email, and he was like, oh, come buy this. And then he was posting on Facebook without the full description. So a lot of people, and it's one of those things where, oh, I forgot. I was just reading an article about, I think it was Mr. Beast, where they were talking about his video where there's a trick what you do when you're selling something where you tell people while supplies last. So then what happens is you tell people like, oh, this is a limited supply. So while supplies last, come buy a bag of Paydirt. While supplies last, before it sells out, come grab you a bag of my brand new Paydirt before it sells out. Now, I've mentioned the Paydirt twice, but I've mentioned that it's going to sell out and it's a limited edition 10 times. So what people will do is they will go to that website and they will buy it way before they read the description because they want to make sure it doesn't sell out. It's limited quantities before they read the description. Then they've bought 10 bags. And then the next thing you know, you're getting $10 worth of gold and you just spent $120 and you're like, oh, there's lots of tricks like that you can do. Tio. That's it. I Am Zaxxon always has 100% guaranteed ROI. Always. I mean, 0% ROI. You could get as much Paydirt as you want from I Am Zaxxon, guaranteed never to find any gold. You can get a $10 custom bag, a $1,000 custom bag. You get that from I Am Zaxxon, you never find any gold, guaranteed. If you find gold, he'll take it from you for free. What? So one thing we don't have to worry about is wonderful people like Bradley sending me this Paydirt for free. Cost me nothing. It's got free gold in it. And he didn't make me rush and tell me that I had to get it before it sold out or anything. That's a good one, gentlemen. That's a really good one. I didn't think about that. I mean, I can tell you, so I know, I did a video last year and I won't do one this year, but I'll probably do one next year, is I have done twice now. I've shot videos and posted videos on where to sell gold to. And when I did that, I did go through Clash and I did find out what Clash was paying. This year, Clash is paying a lot lower percentage. So I think when I did my where to sell gold video last, I think Clash was paying right at like 80% ROI. So if you had, $100 worth of gold, he was paying you $80 for it. The last couple of times I've heard people trying to sell gold to Clash, he was offering 60, 65, 70%. which means he's got so many people trying to sell him gold that he can go lower and lower and lower, which is really bad. So, because that means now people are, buying his Paydirt, with a 60% ROI. They're buying $100 worth of Paydirt. They're getting $60 worth of gold. And then they're selling them that $60 worth of gold for $40, if even that. So he's really, he's really tightening up that ship over there. All right, Aqua Donkey. That's it, PA. I am Zaxxon. He's the man. If you want to get no gold in Paydirt, or if you found some of that nasty gold in your Paydirt and you want to get rid of it, send it over to I am Zaxxon. He'll work that for you. Yeah, that's why I was watching a lot of stuff about Mr. Beast. Is he's getting caught in a whole bunch of things now where in his live shows where he was saying he was giving stuff away, he really wasn't giving stuff away. He was there's just a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, but that's 90% of what YouTubers do. That's why I don't pay attention to any of that, because it sucks you in. It's a perfect example. You get a channel and you get 1 million subscribers and you're making X amount of money, you quit, like Dan Hurd. Okay, perfect example is Dan Hurd. Dan Hurd had an income. Dan Hurd had a job. He had a career. He did videos as a side thing. He was just, I'll go prospecting, teach people about stuff. And, YouTube was a hobby. Dan Hurd quit his career to become a YouTuber. He has to make X amount of money off of his videos, or he has to go back to his career. So then you have to start watching this YouTube algorithm. You have to start posting things. And I like Dan Hurd's channel, not as much as I used to like it. I think his channel has gone downhill some. And that's just my own personal opinion. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that now he has to be dedicate and get a certain number of views, a certain number of this. So a lot of his channel has to focus on that. Like if the algorithm tells him that if he uses the word biggest in his thumbnail, then he'll get more views. So every single video will be biggest, blue ocean stone I've ever found, biggest peridot I've ever found, biggest gold thing I've ever found, So, he has to make that money. And that's what happens with all those channels, which is why, again, I just make videos that I enjoy making. And I try to help people out by making my videos. I try to be informational, but, nobody watches it. It don't matter to me. I'm still going to make it. I try to archive them, And I've done some reviews on his Paydirt, on Dan's Paydirt. I didn't like his Paydirt either. I thought it was a bad deal, I mean, that is one thing I will say, it was one of the reasons why I didn't come so hard down on Pioneer Poly, is because I did get a really good ROI off his Paydirt. So, if you're at least going to lie to your customers, give them a good ROI. If you're going to sit there and say, like, this is my Paydirt and this, if you're going to try to get money out of your subscribers because you got a big subscriber base, at least give them something back. I mean, I will say I do like the Dan Hurd Paydirt is one of those things where I thought it was overpriced, but I mean, one of the things is Dan Hurd has changed. So when Dan Hurd's Paydirt first came out, I reviewed it, and he had no guaranteed ROI. He didn't tell you how much gold was in his Paydirt. He just essentially told you, it's $80 or whatever it was. I don't remember how much it was. It was $80, and he said, come out, buy my Paydirt. It supports the channel. And it was a really bad ROI. I think it was like 25, 30% ROI. And I really came down hard on him because I was like, you're asking these people to, support your channel, but you can't be honest enough to tell them how much gold's in it, what the ROI is going to be. And he did. He changed his description. So now you're getting, and I think he did up the ROI. So I think now he tells you you're going to get a 35, 40% ROI. And But one of the things I did like about his Paydirt, that's not all negatives. It was his material, so you do get to pan out, like this is what Dan Hurd is digging in right now. So, or at least at the time then. I don't know about now. Chris W. Yeah, I knew too. It's so funny. Like the second that Paydirt released, I was just like, oh my gosh, this dude is not even selling Paydirt. He just selling stickers. He's selling it. Oh. But, I know, Reg. Like the one thing is though, I don't think Dan Hurd, I don't know if he still sells his Paydirt year round. I know he does his Christmas dirt every once in a while, and that's got a lower ROI. But like I said, a lot of it, you know, I can be more forgiving for people who sell Paydirt if it's quick sales. Like me, I do sell Paydirt every once in a while on my Patreon to my Patreon members when I need to come up with some cash to pay for stuff, catch up on bills and credit cards. A lot of times what happens is I pay for a lot of stuff on credit cards and I just kind of let it sit there. Then I'm like, okay, now I got to sell some gold to pay off that credit card. So you can be a little bit more forgiving, like with Dan Hurd, where he sells his Christmas Paydirt. It's once a year thing. But with like Clash, he sells Paydirt year round. He is a full-time Paydirt seller. So those are the people that, it's kind of like if you go to a restaurant and a restaurant's been in business for 20 years, they should know how to cook a hamburger. But if some dude does like a pop-up grill on the corner and he messes up your burger, you can kind of be like, well, it's a dude's first day out here. He's just doing a pop-up, Yeah. And that's exactly it, Wesley. Like his channel, I used to like Dan Hurd's old channel when he was very informative. He was really, really good, and he wasn't crazy like Jeff Williams. So it was, but like I said, once he quit his job, even when he first quit his job, like his first year, I think after he quit his job and he went full time, I think he realized he wasn't going to make as much money as he needed it to unless he started like following the YouTube, step-by-step algorithm. So, yeah, that's why I always tell people, if you're going to make videos, just make them to do what makes you happy. If you get sucked into the, I'm going to make money off of YouTube and this and that, you just end up being miserable. So, how do you mess up a burger? I don't know, but, it's happened. I've bought some bad burgers before. Slim heard that. I like Jeff. He's a little bit too crazy for me. All right, so there we go. Here, let's add this to, I'm going to add this to the other pan. Let me get this on. We can put the two smiles next to each other. I don't know if I reviewed his, maybe I did review his Christmas Paydirt. I don't remember. It's been a really long time with Dan Hurd. It's one of those things like once you reviewed a bad seller, you don't really want to re-review them again because, they already got your money once. So, yeah, Jeff is just amped up. All right. Let's add this to this pan. There we go. There we go. Two eyebrows, two smiles, or two eyebrows. I agree. Buyer beware. That is a great thing. Buyer beware, 100%. But it's also why I do these videos, is so to warn buyers, you know. Man, some really good gold. Got 2 smiles tonight. So, but because of that, I'm gonna make y'all look at my ugly mug now. So. Give me 1 second to move everything around. And Home Zoo and Prospect. I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. Thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it. Yeah, they look like eyebrows. That's why I kept saying I think it looks like eyebrows with 2. It's a smile with just 1, but with 2, it looks like an eyebrows. Like, ooh, hey, look. All right, let's shrink down the pan and cam. Make y'all look at my ugly mug some. Then we'll do a raffle or a giveaway. We'll pick some names. There we go. So again, though, huge shout out to Brad Lacey for sending those to me. They were really fun. I think the Tennessee one was more fun than the Alabama Gold Camp. I like garnets, but I like small garnets, like the really fine stuff. It's got to be really clear garnets. Garnet sand. I should probably say garnet sand. That would make it easier. But I do appreciate both of them. That was really awesome of you, Brad. I really appreciate it. Maybe with my little tip about shipping, eventually you'll make that back. Yeah, I think a lot of people were at the Yuba still. I know Vendetta just got back like yesterday, so yeah, I know a lot of people are still up in the Yuba, having fun, Hopefully next year I'll be up there. Hopefully next year I've got it. I've got a huge note right above my computer upstairs as I need to. I've got 3 or 4 trips I'm going to try to do next year, and I've got to calculate price and drive times and things like that. So figure it out so I could try to go. I won't tell you all of them, but there's some good ones. So. Well, that's awesome. I hope it helps. Why does my pan look surprised? It's surprised there's so much gold in it. And Two Toes was there. I like Two Toes. Oh, GS, you got your... I know, I haven't seen... You need to go and get Old Man Grumpy Ace to come out more often with you. I haven't been seeing much of him. I haven't even been seeing him post on Facebook much. I mean, I don't go on Facebook too often, but usually I haven't seen a Good Man Spider in a while. Next time you see him, GS, make sure you tell him I said hi. So, because, he's been busy. He's been busy, but make sure you tell him I said hi. So, all right, let me get everything ready for tonight's giveaway. If I have my notes somewhere. So, yeah. So, this is spot number 4. So far, SRIP63, Alan Curie, and Troubled One have gotten the first 3 spots. And this is for spot number 4. And if you're a Patreon member, you can win multiple times. If you're not a Patreon member, you can only win 1 time. You can only have 1 spot. This particular giveaway, there's only 8 spots. And this time we're giving away 2 bags of RJ's Paydirt. I think they were both guaranteed a 1/3 gram of gold. They've got some other goodies in there as well, some rocks and pretty crystals and stuff like that. It was for one of his hunts where you were hunting for a big nugget, but the nugget has been found. So there's definitely not no big nugget. Well, there might be. You never know. So, but it's bag number 5 and bag number 102 out of 125. We'll be giving those away once we get to 8 full names. And it's always YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. It's 100% by me, for me, to give to the people that watch these live shows. Put up with my ugly mug. Ugly mug. Ugh. Stutter mouth tonight. So, yeah. All right. Let me get the link and everything. Here, I will do it. I can. There we go. Hidden link. Last time we'll be posting up the hidden link. And make sure you go leave a comment on the hidden link to get your chance tonight. If I pull your name, you must post something in live chat before the end of the show to claim the prize. So make sure you go leave a comment. And if you haven't also, make sure you go in the top of chat is a poll. If you click the poll, make sure you vote. It's either 6 p.m., 7 p.m., or 8 p.m., what time you prefer this show at. I kind of switched to 6 p.m., so some of the people that want to wake up early or have to stay up late to watch the show could catch the show, and the show ends around 8. People that come normally for the 7 would still get an hour long to watch it. So I might try to keep the shows going for 2.5 hours, keep the show, which is when I have to get off. I have to get off around 8:30 during my live shows. Currently, I could always change it if the polls move, but I just might start trying to make sure the shows last longer. So I might have to start going through bigger bags of Paydirt or something. No, all right. Let's get the link, get everything set up. Put this here, this here, this here. All right, I think we're set. So we'll give it a few minutes. I will catch up on chat. So right now the poll is 41% 6 p.m., 39% 7. So I think I'll end up probably leaving it. But the problem is, see, if I start the show, so I will tell everyone, if I start the show at 7, it will end at 8:30 probably. More than likely the show would still end at 8:30, whereas if I start the show at 6, like tonight, it's going to end at 8:10, 8:15. So tonight's show will probably end around 8:20. So you're still getting the 7 to 8:30, but now some people can watch it from 6 to 7. So you will miss the first hour of a show. But that's the part with my ugly mug in it. I mean, the first 15, 20 minutes of the show is just my ugly mug, and you miss some of the panning, but, I personally think 6 is better. And I forget, and it's rough for me to start the show at 6. I think 6 is better, 6:30 start. I don't want to do the halves. See, I can't do halves. It's got to be like 5, 6, 7, or 8. You want to vote for 3 a.m.? I'll do it. I'll do a 3 a.m. show. You'll be the only one there. I won't even be there. Right. No. I don't want to. I actually preferred the 7 o'clock show. I actually preferred it. It gave me an hour and a half to do a show. But I know some people wanted me to start it earlier. So I started it earlier. So it doesn't matter to me either way. I mean, I'm either going to do a 2-hour show or an hour and a half show. If I start at 6, the shows will probably last around 2 hours. If I start at 7, the shows will be an hour and a half. And the problem with this, if I start a show at 7, is when I get hard Paydirt. Like when I get some of these Paydirts that are a lot of black sands and stuff like that, I won't be able to finish it. Like when I did the gold bag Paydirt, I couldn't even finish the Paydirt because I just didn't have enough time. And that show started at 6, so. Yeah. I actually set my alarm to stop in an Outlaws 3 a.m. show. There's a lot of shows. Who was it that I saw started a show like at 3 a.m. and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be functioning if I woke up to watch their shows, Or the best, easiest 2 hours. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll probably keep at 6 for a while. If I do stay at 6, I'll probably try to make sure I have enough content. Because I know some shows do end early, and like tonight's show almost ended early because my son's power was out. So if the show would have ended at like 7:15, anyone that shows up, because I do know a lot of people show up at 7 o'clock because that's when they're getting off of work and getting home, is they would just essentially miss the whole show. They'd show up at 7 o'clock and see 15 minutes and I'm leaving. So, I will definitely try to make sure the show, if I stay at 6, stays till 8. So we will have a 2-hour show at least. So. So I missed something. Let's Yeah, why is Outlaw doing his show so late? Jason posted 2 a.m. one. Now, I've had videos post really late, and a lot of times I've had it twice, I think, where videos posted at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And that was before I did premieres and stuff like that. And that was just because I was putting it into YouTube and I was setting it, be up tomorrow at 7, and I mistakenly put the wrong thing. So it's really, sometimes you really mess up on YouTube. I've actually had where I've had live shows where I've had actually set it for the next day by accident. So yeah, I didn't even know Outlaw was still around. So that's, I thought you were originally talking about a different Outlaw, but so. But all right, let me go. Make sure we're all on the page. We're going to do the giveaway. I can get rid of the smile. And again, thank you very much, Brad. I really appreciate that. That was really awesome. And again, I still have, where's it at? So I still have another one of his bags to go through. I have my shelf bag, but that's staying up there. But I replaced, this was originally the one he sent me. This is his first bag he sent me. It's got, a nice description on the back. And this was the original one he sent me, but I asked for an upgraded bag for my shelf, and that's this. So eventually I will pan this one out as well. It's a smaller bag, so I figured I would probably use it and maybe pan out some Vendetta or something else with it, because I get a lot of these small bags and they wouldn't last 2 hours panning. So when I get these smaller bags, we'll just build them all up and go. I do that a lot with LXR. I'll build up some LXR bags, which by the way, I hope he's doing good because I haven't heard from him in a while. So hopefully he's doing as well. Twin rotator cost. Oh. Yeah, get better soon, brother. So, all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. We got to get rid of the panning cam. And again, thank you very much. That was really awesome. You're way too kind, Brad. I appreciate that. And now let's get the face cam. Let's shrink down my ugly mug so we can do the giveaway. There we go. Let's shrink it down pretty good. And gratuitous, shameless plug for my website, Miller Prospect. And there's no ads, no pop-ups, none of that stuff on my website. If you need any information, everything is on here. It has all my contact information as well as my last 3 videos. And every single video I've ever shot is archived on my website. It's either in the reviews that are all spelled out, all my live shows on here, mail calls, everything. I have a map you can claim money from every state that the government might owe you. I have thank yous for all my patrons. If you ever want to sell small amounts of gold, I don't buy big amounts of gold. If you want to sell 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 grams of gold, hit me up. I'm always willing to buy a little bit of gold to help people out if I can. I have an About Me page. I didn't even know that, but I have an About Me page. I have top 10 recommended sellers. These are my top 10 sellers. If you have not bought from any of these sellers, I highly suggest you do. They're some of the better Paydirts out there, and they have some of the best stuff. My last 100 reviews. I also have worst 25 ROIs of all time. And lastly, sellers to avoid. If you see a brand new seller that pops up on Google, check my sellers to avoid. I keep this one updated as much as I can. But a lot of the new sellers, it's the same guy with just multiple websites. He will be advertising on Google. So if you see a new site on Google and you're like, oh, wow, I've never heard of this site before, check out my sellers to avoid. It's probably one of his and you won't get a very good ROI. It's not a total ripoff, but it's just not worth it. Not the way he describes it. You will get a 25, 30% ROI, but it's not a total ripoff, but it isn't a good one. So, all right, here we go. Enough talking. I've been doing a lot of talking today. I'm going to have to get some throat lozenges or something. Here we go. Let's fetch, pull out everything, include replies. Nope. And good luck to absolutely everyone for spot number 4. Here we go. 52 comments. Let's pick a winner. Can Trip. Happy Tuesday. Good luck to all. So Can Trip, congratulations, but you must post something in the live show. In the live chat. You must post something on the live chat before the end of the show or you lose your spot. You can win again next week, but you will lose this spot this week. And next week, we will just give away more spots. So you will have to re-enter and have a chance. So working on the high banker build video. That'd be awesome. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, and thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, it was really awesome. That was way too kind of them. That's a new name. Yeah. There's one thing is sometimes you don't know. Sometimes YouTube will throw out their URL name, which isn't always the display name. So it's sometimes it can be kind of confusing. But that is a new name for me. Carrie Curtis, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. And Chris W., I don't know if I said hi to you. Beerman's Gold Prospecting. What's up, brother? How you been doing? Thank you for joining the show. And everyone who joined the show, thank you all very much. I really appreciate everyone who comes here, the lurkers, the ones who keep up in chat. I appreciate all of you. I know tend to be more lurkers and people active in chat. I'm one of those people that prefers to lurk. But I appreciate all of you. And I also want to really appreciate my Patreon members. Next Tuesday, I will be doing a Patreon live show. I will be giving back to all my Patreon members, thanking them, giving away some Paydirt, some prizes and things like that, as well as I will be giving away my Flower Gold Wizard Sluice. So next week, next Tuesday, I will be giving away the Flower Gold Wizard Sluice. I wanted to do some more videos with it, but I'm really slow at shooting equipment videos, and I have some other equipment lined up, so it'd probably be months and months of it sitting on my shelf, and I would rather somebody else use it. So I will be giving away the Flower Gold Wizard Sluice next week. Saturday, I do have a video coming out. So that should be good. So Saturday, I have a video coming out. It's a Gem Paydirt review. I have a Gem Paydirt review coming out Saturday. Next Tuesday is my Patreon live show. So giving back to all my Patreon members. I will still be giving away something to the people who watch the live show. We'll be giving away spot number 5. And if Can Trip doesn't show up tonight, we'll be giving away number 4 and 5 next week. So there might be 2 spots next week. No. Thank you, Vester. Thank you very much. So it should be a good time. Saturday, again, Saturdays will be a premiere. I'm pretty sure Saturday, if I can get it finished editing in time. So Saturday will be a premiere for a new Gem Paydirt review with me and my son in it. And then next Tuesday, like I said, the Patreon. So I need to thank all my Patreon members tonight and every night and all the time. Thank you all very much, because without my Patreon members, I wouldn't even be able to do these Tuesday live shows. So, you know, including my Patreon member, Brad, who sent me this Paydirt. So not only does he support me on Patreon, but he sent me some Paydirt, which is really, really awesome. So thank you again, Brad. You should keep that sluice. It's great. It is a great sluice, but the thing is, I would never use it. I have piles of pans here. I have sluices. You know, like I said, I have the Gold Buddy sluice I haven't reviewed yet. I have some other sluices that I haven't reviewed yet. I have an old bucket sluice I haven't reviewed yet. I have a lot of sluices that I haven't even gotten to reviewing yet. And I'm lucky if I can do one equipment review or product with equipment once every 2 or 3 months. So I don't get to do them very often. So if I kept this sluice, it would essentially sit on a shelf for 6 months, 9 months. And I know Vendetta plans to do some videos, and I'd much rather watch Vendetta's video with the Flower Gold Wizard sluice than mine. So, Edward Turner, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm planning and planning and planning. Half the notes on my desk right now in my studio, not in my studio, but at my desktop, are all about planning next year's trip. So, thank you very much. So I'm guessing Can Trip didn't show up, didn't post. But oh well. So I guess next week we'll have 2 spots to give away if they don't post in a couple minutes. So but Alan Jackson, yeah, it's a great sluice and I really like it. And you know, if I ever want it, like I said, it would just be collecting dust. So, and it's not that expensive. It's not like a gold cube, which I have a gold cube and almost never use it. You know, and that's $400 or $500 sitting there. This, you know, this was $75 sluice. You know, if in 9 months or a year, if I think of something great to shoot it with, I can buy another one. And, you know, you know, or I could just tell Wesley to send me one and I'll send it right back to him. So, but it is a great sluice. But like I said, I know, like when I shot the video with it, the first thing I thought of was to run 5 gallons through it. And I know, or a 5-gallon bucket of dirt through it because, you know, Jason said not to. But I know Vendetta said he had the exact same idea. And I know Vendetta will probably do it long before I do. So, yeah. Oh, all right. I got you down. That's why I said YouTube sucks. Like sometimes it'll do it. It'll show them with a regular name. And sometimes it's not. I might make you, here, Matthew, just because it's not showing you, email me. Email me there and I'll have you do something that'll verify that that's you. So just email me, Dylan at Miller Prospecting, and you can send me, I don't know if I put a space in there, but there you go. Dylan at Miller Prospecting. And I'll just have you post something very specific with that can too email. So I think 6 p.m. one. So I mean it's a close. It doesn't. You're still gonna get to see the show. I'm still here at 7. All right. No. All right, Matthew. That's all. You do that. I'll go check through them after the show and double verify. If that's it, your name's on here. So thank you. I appreciate it. I hate missing spots. So Matthew Phelps has tonight's spot. So congratulations on that. And I guess I'm going to get out of here again. Saturday, I do have a premiere. Next Tuesday, Patreon live show. I'll be giving back to all my Patreon members, doing a giveaway, and I'll also be giving away a spot for the RJ's Paydirt next week. So if you just want to watch me give away some stuff, you can. It will be a shorter show. So if you voted for 7, you'll probably miss the show. It usually only runs an hour. It'll be from 6 to 7. Unless I pan something out. I don't know if I will or not, but I think I like that you stack gold cubes. Yeah, I do. Mine's actually a 4 stack, so I do like that. So, but I'm out of here, and I will see you all hopefully during the premiere Saturday. But if not, I hope to see everyone next Tuesday. So that's the next time I'll be live. But thanks everyone for showing up. I really appreciate y'all looking at my ugly mug. And